People have no idea about the big threat. This is science fiction fantasy content with elements of creative writing. During a hearing of the Senate Armed Services Committee, a senator spoke to the audience based on his speech as written and drafted on the papers in front of him on the subject of the threat. Everything was going according to plan when a strange prism-like light began to circle the room. Most didn't see it, but even those who noticed it assumed that it was some kind of a reflection. Moreover, these days other such lights had been observed in the external environment, but were justified by scientists as normal phenomena. The strange point of light that kept changing shapes came and stood for a while on the head of the man who was talking. Suddenly the speaker changed his tone, straying from what he was scheduled to say. He began to speak as if he had a need to get many truths out of him. Quote, "A lot of people live in the dark, but they have a rudimentary instinct. Many people know that we know, and we know that they know. What they don't know is the domain the threat is coming from. A large number of conspiracy writers with access to conspiracy theory sites have long been leading the world to believe that the threat comes from outer space, from a planet that is not officially scientifically recognized to exist. They talk about an alien invasion by malevolent beings that no official authority in the world has seen and does not admit their existence officially. They also talk about reptilians hiding inside the earth or inside human suits, panic in all its glory, but also a lot of people like doom scrolling, hence searching and reading bad and negative news. They also talk about ancient gods who will come back at some point and bring heavenly justice, who will eliminate all the evil that happens on earth among people. They will return, he says, in their advanced spaceships and impose order or harmonize the people with a sense of peace, harmony, and balance. A large portion of the world is waiting for one or the other to happen, or both, because for some reason most people identify with fictional heroes and science fiction movies. All this, however, is a way of escaping from reality. These evasive methods, however, make the threat more insidious and contribute to it themselves without realizing it. In addition, they distract the world from various important issues, creating issues that have no substance but make them look deadly in the long run when they are not. Political, diplomatic, and financial scandals, as well as fake hot episodes that hide the possibility of war, but most of them are governed by a pre-arrangement, and much more. There's too many. Because people don't notice, or rather, to be precise, they're not given the opportunity to notice because they are busy with what marketing communications are artfully managed to pass in many ways, very successfully. End quote. Now, a space war and he went on to say, space war or space threat, a meteorological, environmental, or underwater disaster, always with people responsible who use the products that destroy the environment, but not with the people who make them responsible, serves the situation. Unfortunately, I cannot speak about such confidential matters in a public hearing. However, I hope to have succeeded and give you an impression. I hope I managed to give you an idea, however faint, that the greatest threat does not lie or come from external factors, but from people who manipulate other people for the benefit of the former, end quote. So the mysterious prismatic light, with the elaborate shapes it was taking, had already moved away from the speaker, who looked lost, as if he didn't want to talk about any of this. It was as if he was forced to speak some truths as he perceived them, as if he had been wrapped by the veil of truth of Wonder Woman. Now, after his words, it was obvious that he was trying to patch up what he had said. No one noticed the light that escaped like an innocent ray of sunshine to meet others that fanned as if flaking the building outside. The specific part of the statements was never shown by the major systemic channels, the media channels, following an argument between them. It was leaked, however, by an attendee who was recording the speech on his cell phone, but as happens in these cases, it was dismissed as fake news and non-existent conspiracy theories. The speaker, a few days later, was accused of illegally selling classified documents to enemies of the state. He was deposed and pardoned instead of going to jail, retired on a meager pension that barely provides him with a living. On the ranch, but above his head trembled the dangerously sharp blade that would cut the thread of his life if he spoke again to any reporter about what he mentioned in that speech. His name was never linked to that particular excerpt of his outburst, out of respect for the senator's family by the leaker. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.